Hello, all my Derby City Norsemen and Minnesota Vikings fan favorite peeps. This is Tom. Um, we had our game on Thursday, so today we're just going and talking about the NFL in general with my buddies Swab and OG, the two pundits of YouTube, or at least my YouTube channel, who I really respect their opinions and stuff like that. We're going to talk a little bit about their teams, get some, uh, ideas about what they think they did right the last game and what they're looking to do in the upcoming game. And then there's also one other subject I'd like to talk about as a general subject that came up in the NFL this week that I think it's important to talk about. But okay, let's see. I think last week I went first, OG, so I'm going to go to Swab this week. And by the way, Swab, for anybody who watched last week's episode, he was sort of like giving me a little bit of grief about his name badge there being purple because he's a Bears fan. I did try to take care of that for Swab, but unfortunately, my efforts were futile, and purple's a good color anyway. But anyway, Swab. First of all, as far as the game, and you actually went to this game. I saw your seats; you had really good seats. As far as the game that you played against, why am I drawing a blank on who you played against? I know you played the Buccaneers this week, but who did you play last week? Remind me.
Oh man, I think they played Green Bay.
He's froze again. This just ain't working. What's going on? I don't know what's up with this. I mean, you're back now, and I didn't know that Swab was having any
issue,
weather issues or anything like that. Although he may have.
Yeah.
I'm not in Chicago, so I don't know what the weather is like that right now.
Well, all we can tell him is go out. There you go. All right, I'll take over. Let me see. What was my prediction last week? Close game. I was way off. Weather scared me in the beginning of the Cowboys and Giants game, but after the blocked field goal and everything went downhill after that, it's no problems. But this week, I am really concerned because we play the Jets. And it's not the offense I'm concerned about, it's the defense I'm concerned about. Because we're missing, there's a couple of our key offensive linemen that's hurt, that may be there. I don't know, Zach Martin being one of them. So we'll see. I think this will be a better game. I'm not mad at the 40-0 blowout. I will definitely take it any day of the week. But I think this is going to be a game where, the offense is going to have to – we'll see what the offense is about and what Dak is about, because last week we didn't need him. So we'll see see how this offense plays out and how it goes from there. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are probably quite a few people who did not anticipate, they thought it was going to be a regular old NFC East, battle and stuff like that. I don't think anyone would have thought, it was going to be that big of a blowout. But,
right.
I mean, Dallas has got a good team. So, I mean, I actually thought, they'd struggle a little bit, with their running game since Tony Pollard he's not playing yet, is he? He's still like.
No, he played. He played 70 yards, 77 yards rushing, another 20, 25 or 30 yards passing. So he had a decent game, 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Like I said, first game of the season, bad weather. I will blame it on that for the running game. So we'll see what we have. We'll be at a indoor track.
Yeah.
Better weather, and but it's that defense, that Jets defense I'm worried about. Offense, I'm not worried about the Jets offense. I keep hearing people saying, "Oh, they'll run the ball, run the ball, run the ball." Okay. Ask Saquon how that went.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just, especially with it not being Aaron, being Wilson, that's a whole nother game, just because of that.
Yeah.
If Kev was in here, I talked to him, about how much, the loss of Aaron is going to affect, the Jets this year. But yeah, in that game, if it was Aaron was still there, I'd say the game's probably a toss up.
Yeah. Oh no. Swab will tell you. In the beginning of the season, when I knew Aaron was there, I said this game I can't call.
Yeah.
So this is one of those. Okay, if we get it, then we might. By the time we see San Francisco week 5, we might be 5-0. We might go undefeated to that point.
It's very possible. But I just, like I said, the loss of Aaron just changed the whole complexion.
Yeah, it did.
Of this game, I think. So, but Suave, I'm glad to see you're back there, brother. You must have moved from the penthouse to the outhouse, I guess. I don't know. I'm done messing with you, Suave. I'm just teasing with you, but anyway. So you all now. I've had this extra time, and I still can't remember who did y'all play.
The Packers.
Packers. Yeah, that's what it was. Y'all made Jordan Love look like like the third in the line of the Green Bay quarterback. So.
No, you know what, Tom? I don't know what the game plan was, to be honest with you. They just didn't come out with energy last week. I think they came out as if, it's like, hey, we got some talent and we're gonna just win games based on talent. And like I told OG, it was a good thing. It was a wake up call. Like, look, yes, we're talented, but we gotta execute. Yes, you got Justin Fields and DJ Moore and Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet. Yes, you had a great last season, but you have to do it again this season. And the same thing with the defense. I think Allen Williams, he didn't want to blitz much. But, some of these rookie quarterbacks or these first-year starters, you got to make them think. A lot of times on those third and longs, we not having a blitzing corner or a blitzing safety. We just, rush forward and let everybody else cover. And when you do that, any quarterback will look good.
Yeah. So does it seem like to you that it was not as much as a talent deficit as it was just they weren't mentally focused? Is that what
It was that in play calling. Because if you watched that game last week, I think they say only 4 passes. I want to say only 4 passes went beyond the line of scrimmage last week. You know what? Like, what offense?
Yeah.
How do you expect to win a game like that?
Oh yeah.
You throwing all these screen passes. It's like, bruh, just throw. Sometimes you just gotta. Hey, we're gonna max protect, throw it long. Hopefully our receivers come down with it. If not, just bat the ball down. Yeah, but at least give them the have them corners wondering, all right, is this the play where he might run this go route or run this post or anything.
Yeah. I mean, speaking from a Vikings fan where we've just totally sucked on screen passes, in the first 2 games, yeah, you got to do more than that to open up your offense. You at least even if you can't complete them, you got to take some shots down the field. Otherwise, they're going to cheat up on you and make it hard to do anything. Well, and I will say that I believe your upcoming opponent, which is the Buccaneers, who beat us week 1, is not going to be as difficult a defense to deal with, even though they beat us. Maybe I shouldn't be talking, but I really do think that you all have enough talent to go up against them. So, what do you think should be the game plan going into this week's game against the Buccaneers?
I think the game plan, to be honest with you, Tom, win one-on-ones. Offensively, You know, I think they have the Bucks. They got great linebackers. Great corners and safeties. You got to go at them.
Yeah.
Like if you look at that Vikings game, yes, the Eagles had Darius Slay on Justin Jefferson, but they didn't shy away from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justin still ended up with 160 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Darius Slay was on him the whole game, and he should have had that one touchdown if he could have held on to the ball.
Yeah.
So, I think, yeah, you got a great segment, but you still got to go after him.
Yeah.
Anybody
And,
can.
oh, I agree totally, and only because you bring it up, brought up the subject. I really think that rule, as far as like when you fumble the ball through the end zone, that rule should change because you shouldn't be penalized as far as a turnover, just because you're reaching out for the goal line and the ball, it wasn't if it's knocked out, it's a different thing. But he was just reaching out to try to put it to the goal line, and it came out of his hand. So, and I think that that rule should be changed. Give it to him at like the 1 foot line or something like that. It's a different story if the ball is hit out of his hand. Then you can say a defensive person made a play that caused it to be, and then you can say give it over to the defense because he made play, but there was no play made. He just lost his grip on the ball. So
100%.
So on that point, Tom, where would you place the ball? Where it went out, or because if it goes to the end zone, do you take it back at least to the 15, or do you where he would? Because that's not really fair to the defense either.
Well, yeah, I get your point on that. I would say, if you want to treat it as a touchback, then okay, and reward the defense for playing tight defense to where he fumbled the ball trying to reach out or something like that. Then take it back to the 20 like you would on a touchback, but still allow them to retain possession of the ball. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing. I don't think that the team who had the ball should forfeit possession just simply because of someone losing their grip. If it's a defensive play, I get it totally. Then you could say the ball goes over to the defense. But it was clear via the replay, and we review everything else. If it happens just because of them like losing grip or what have you, I think that should be maybe that's still the offense ball, but back at the 20 or what have you. So
gotcha. Yeah. I got you. Okay, I can now that I can agree with.
Okay,
but
I can agree with that.
As far as tomorrow, they just gotta stop with the conservative. Just go after Baker tomorrow. Rush a linebacker, rush one of the corners, rush Jaquan Brisker, Eddie just do something. Just add, maybe every other play, rush somebody new, so he don't know who's coming.
When we were playing Tampa Bay, and I don't know if you heard about this earlier, or earlier this week, we were killing them in the first half because of the pressure, defense that Flores was putting on them. Now, supposedly, this is the part I don't know if you heard. Supposedly, sometime during the second half, Baker Mayfield had our signals, our defensive signals or whatever, so he knew what was coming. That's what the stories that have been out over the internet and on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it and stuff like that. And so I think y'all would do good to put pressure on him and make him show if he. I just don't see him being able to deal with that pressure 2 weeks in a row and stuff like that. I really do think if they did steal our signals, then that may have a little bit to do with why they went up and down on the field on us in the second half when they were struggling to do anything in the first. But
just stop with the conservative blitz and run the ball and shoot every other possession.
And
throw a go route. DJ, we're gonna throw it to you. Or, I don't know. You just gotta do something. Cause it's like you're not gonna trying to be conservative. And even like listening to Justin in a press conference, he wants to have a perfect game, but like it's the NFL. It's not you're not gonna have a perfect game every week. Sometimes you're gonna throw a pick. It happens, but you learn from it and try not to do it again.
Well, the thing and here I am trying to give intelligence to the enemy, by saying this or whatever, stuff like that. But it just don't make sense with his escapability and his able to ability to run. That they should have more passes outside the pocket.
I agree.
You're trying to make him into like the NFL standard of a drop back quarterback, and that's not who he is. You got to be who you are and stuff like that. And I think that's important, and I think they would be better served to get him outside the pocket. So if things do break down, he does have that option to possibly be out in space and try to make a play. If he wants to do it. So, but do you think that's a good idea then?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. To be honest, I don't see why. I don't know what Getsy was trying to do, but I don't see why you went away from what made them successful for them 7-8 weeks last year when you was averaging 35 points a game, whatever you was averaging. Why stop?
Yeah,
it's working, and now hey, you just got to tell Justin, hey, sometimes when you get out that pocket, just slide, dog.
Well, yeah.
Don't be trying to run people over, and because then we done got hurt, and then we really, be wondering where can we go from here.
Yeah, I mean, you can use your judgment and decide when you can try to break a run, but if you need to slide, you can always slide and stuff like that.
Yeah. So hopefully they look at that game and they get pissed off and they do everything tomorrow that they didn't do last week.
I got you.
And hopefully they can get a win.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I can't say that I ever root for Bears or Packers or Lions wins, but I get what you're saying, brother.
Hey, I don't like the Packers or the Lions or the Vikings.
so I'm 0-2. I need y'all to all lose tomorrow. But anyway, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm really not, but you know what I'm saying. But okay. Well, I'm glad we got some background on your first game, and then your all's insight on the upcoming games and stuff like that. Now, as we were talking about last week, and this is something I told the guys I wanted to discuss because I think it's important to discuss. After the game on Thursday night, when the Eagles beat us, there was if I understand, there's one, possibly two fumbles by Alexander Madison, which, hey, that happens. You can't help it. Fumbles are part of the game. You don't want it to happen, but sometimes things, just happen. Anyway, after that, there were like people coming at Alexander on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, and there's no other way to say it. They were just saying and doing some inappropriate things, making racist comments. And I just can't believe, we're in a day and time where people, and maybe it's because they can hide behind the screen or whatever, stuff like that. But that's no excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just saying that's the way I understand why or how some people feel they have the ability to do it. But we should make it so uncomfortable for them that they won't ever want to do it. But I can only speak for myself. I doubt Alexander Madison is going to see this, but I just want to say on a part of being a white person and stuff like that. When I see this sort of thing in any walk of life, not just sports, but anything, it embarrasses me. It makes me sad. I wish we could be in a better place in this world. And you know, and so, right now, as far as discussing, I just, I just want your all's, opinions or insights. I mean, because I'm sure, and this probably goes without saying, you all have encountered racism in your lives and stuff like that. So, can you, give me your opinion and tell me what you feel as far as this subject?
Go ahead, OG.
Um, I mean, it's ignorant, really. And my first question is, are you mad because he fumbled twice? Or are you mad because Dalvin Cook is a Jet? Because if Dalvin Cook had fumbled twice, I really doubt that would have happened. And regardless, it makes no sense because that's not why you lost the game. That has those two fumbles. Yeah, it has bearing because it kind of stops momentum if you lost the ball. But why you lost the game was one play. Jefferson fumbling out the end zone. That was it. If he holds onto the ball or at least scores, it's a different ball game. Philadelphia's not running it 12 times on you. They got to pass. So people got to just, I mean, and I understand you get upset, but if you get upset and that's your first reaction to go to a race car, you got problems. But I mean, being 53, I'm kind of numb to it. I just go, oh, okay. I mean, it's not the right attitude to have, but after a while, there's nothing you can do. It's just, all right. We can find the person, like you said, Tom, and put pressure on him. You know, hit his Facebook, call his job, anything like. And I'm not saying get someone fired from their job, but if you continue to do that, we gotta let everybody know who you are. And if that makes you lose your job, then maybe that'll help you change your ways. That's
Well,
all.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
if
it.
if you're willing to do something like that, then you should be aware that there are going to be consequences of doing something unacceptable like that.
There you go.
So, what about you, Suave? How do you feel?
It's disgusting, and I showed the guys another video from last weekend where uh some fans, I don't want to say fans, I don't know what they were, but it was some fans at the Alabama game
Oh,
when they lost. They were telling the kids, go back to the projects, and just it's like, bro, it's a game at the end of the day. Why are you so angry that your team lost? You would just say anything to try to hurt these kids
Yeah.
or these peers, and I think especially in this country, it's just, it might sound bad, but you get numb to it because you hear it so much.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the opposing team, they just, look at like Boston, just say and do things just like egregious, and it's like it's not that serious, bro. It's
Well,
not. It's
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no,
I
no, no.
didn't.
I was just saying, it's not that serious, and you really need to get a grip on life if you feel that way about a moment in time. You paid to be at this event, yes, but you're not obligated to win. It's sports. It happens. You just, hey, your team lost, just go home. A
Oh,
lot of these people, you want to inflict hurt and pain on these people by saying just egregious things that you probably wouldn't say if they were in arm's reach.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
liquid courage.
Well, as far as what y'all said, I think to me the saddest part is that um, it's happened so often that you all have become numb to it to a certain extent. I mean, I would hope, and it would be the desire of my heart that this would, if it ever did happen, which I don't want it to happen at all, but I would rather it be the exception rather than the rule. But it seems, especially in these United States where we're so polarized now, it just seems, that things are so polarized on one end or the other, and it's, you know, um, I just, I can only speak for myself, but there are some of us who are tired of, the George Floyds and the Philando Castiles and the Breonna Taylors and stuff like that. And, just, why can't we just, learn that we're all the same. We may have slight differences in one way or another, but basically we're all the same when it comes to being people and stuff like that. We, we want to provide for our family. If we can provide, I'm disabled myself and can't do that, but we want to provide for our family. We want to have interests that we can take part in and stuff like that. We want to watch our kids grow up and flourish and stuff like that. And, I just think that, can we just please grow up? I mean, that's what it boils down to. Can we just please grow up? Because grown people, really grown people, not people who talk, saying they grown or whatever, but really grown people ain't going to do stupid crap like this. So,
Yeah.
Well,
100.
but but
well, I would just
anyway,
say this. I would say this, Tom. This is on this platform and Minnesota Viking fans, and I hope the fans that did that see this because this starts that process, the difficult conversations. So even if they do see this and they want to have that difficult conversation, please comment, get with Tom. He'll get in contact with me and we can have that conversation.
yeah.
Trust me, we can have that conversation.
One thing that made me feel, I say good, but only because of the way it was handled, is the Vikings team came out with a statement that says, and they got behind it and say, this is unacceptable, this is not right. We shouldn't be like this and stuff like that. That Alexander's a man with a family, and everything like that, and that this was uncalled for. And it made me glad because, to be honest with you, I've seen other teams, and I'm not going to name the teams, who would just try to you know sweep this under the rug or what have you, stuff like that. So it made me happy, that my team. But yes, anyone who watches this and and wants to contact OG or whatever, as I can, get you in contact with them, I'm more than happy to do that. So we can have these conversations if you want, and try to. Knowledge is always going to be helpful if we're going to overcome, this ignorance, which is basically what it is. The more knowledge we can gain, then the closer we can come to not being so ignorant about things, and hopefully, I don't know that we'll change it in this world, but we can at least try and take our steps. And you don't if you don't do anything, or I forgot what the saying is, if you don't if you don't do something, you'll fall for anything. I think it's what it says and stuff like that. So even these steps, y'all watching this and wanting to speak to OG and try to gain understanding, I think that's a positive step. But
It would be respectful. It would definitely be respectful.
yes, I agree.
All right.
But OG Suave, we've had our technical difficulties this week for sure.
Always the
but
one.
as always, I always appreciate y'all. I always enjoy talking to y'all, and I once again, I never want to take this for granted. I appreciate you taking your time to be here for my show here, and every week you give to me going forward, I consider it a gift, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. And Suave, I'll still be trying to work on that color thing on your name there. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that worked out. Oh, I do want to say something. I just forgot about this and stuff like that. And I was talking to OG about this earlier. Suave, there's this hype video that Deion Sanders did for the Colorado Buffaloes. and I'm gonna try to post it after this video when I actually like download this and stuff like that. Where he's talking about we're not coming, we're here, this sort of thing about how we're here and people just gotta be ready for him and stuff like that. Well, at the end of this hype video, because he's getting the team all hyped up like that, he said, "Give me my theme music," because I think he's got like, and then his theme music came on, and at the end was bumping and stuff like that. Well, I was watching this video with my roommate, and she's a sports fan. She's a Packer fan. I hate to say that, but anyway, so he said, "Give me my theme music," and they started playing this song is bumping it, and she said, "Why did he ask for?" Or anyway, she thought he said, "Give me my Fig Newtons," So I started falling laughing. No, it wasn't Fig Newton. It was theme music.
Right, exactly.
It said, "Give me my Fig Newtons." Oh my God, I'm done.
Hey,
that is crazy.
Maybe you needed a snack or something.
Yeah.
Blood sugar was low.
Like, hey, I gotta eat.
But I was cracking up. I just had to add that story in there. I like I said, I'm going to try to put the video on, and I hope I don't get any copyright infringement sort of thing, stuff like that. But you all listen closely. You tell me, is he saying give me my theme music or give me my Fig Newtons? I want to hear back for y'all. I gotta know, because I'm thinking he said theme music. but anyway, so but yeah, once again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking your time. Y'all
no
have
problem, Tom. Anytime.
Week, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
Later.
Peace.